Morning, good afternoon. Good evening, world. Good morning, good afternoon. I am the runaway slave from Buzzwalk. And as you know, I am the Rastafari International Ambassador. And as the ambassador, I was put forward to develop a new faculty of thinking in forward moving. Um, I have just done a piece on directing it to the NAC, Creative Council. And in that piece, I have stated that the nation of Rastafari is the most conniving, self serving, backbiting movement going forward right now. Self hating, yes, self hating is part of it because it's like I hate I self and become so competitive that we don't go talk about unity, sing about unity, talk about freedom, sing about freedom. But all now, none of it, all of it is just a dream. And the reason why it is a dream, because of that competitiveness. And we have all now become some form of Christian. Here it is now. I am here speaking and trying to direct the Rastafari nation to find forward its blackness. And I am being opposed on every aspect by of the nation to the point that I have to put myself, because I can't put Rasta on hold. I put myself on hold and declare that the nation of Rasta need to stay over there while I go over here, over the Garvey segment, to see if I can find some brothers to really move on what we have in common. Now, in doing that, I have run into a lot of obstacles. So, without even telling you my interpretation, I am going to play three different views and let you, the black public, decipher now if we can find a common goal amongst ourselves. So first I'm going to play a reasoning from Bongo Time, son, that was sent to a group but addressing I as the ambassador. So here we go.
Give thanks, Nayabing Asian Council. Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the power of His Imperial Majesty, Eli Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yes, I give thanks to the royal bloodline them on the platform. Give thanks, Junior Negos, for the fire the eye burning. Truth and right must stand. Give thanks, Badars, said we for the eye view. But the eye view and opinion is not necessarily affect the Nyabingi Asian Council because I trod with a free waterway in this time. But one must know when it comes on to Haile Selassie, I hold Haile Selassie as in the highest esteem, for he is the director of life itself, you know. So a lot of ones don't really get that inborn revelation through this Iowa. But I and I are the third generation, and we could have do enough things. We could have do what the fourth generation I do. But through the divine power of His Imperial Majesty, I Selassie, I and I change up I and I way and I lifestyle, you know, to live, because the teaching of His Imperial Majesty bring life. But the teachings of Rome and the teachings of Pope bring death. So I and I in this time cannot speak against our ancestors, you know. For Haile Selassie I life expand all these titles where man would have said man should have. When it come on to philosopher, when it come on to prophet, teacher, principal, king and emperor, regent and plenipotentiary, all these titles, Haile Selassie I life expanded. And now that the emperor trod out of flesh, in flesh, that's why I can ask certain questions. And I supposed to let him life and him works rest in peace. And if I and I have anything to say, I and I must only have good to say about our ancestor. For Babylon are tear down we ancestor, and we are tear down we ancestor. And that breakdown now, that's the youth them now have no respect for no one, because we attack them come here, we a quarrel against one another. Them come here, we are cuss the elder there, cuss the other elder there. And the youth them hear these things, and the youth them don't want to get mixed up in these vibes. The youth them want a clean medi. The youth them want a clean meditation. So I and I would have loved the ones them, just gather together as we gather, and put away certain personal feelings. Sometimes we hear say why, the mass not go like that. We don't bother do it because it will bring a vibes. Because say somebody or people not go like something and you still do it. You must expect it because a repercussion. So man is what create things upon themselves too. You understand? So that's all the whole liberty set up. Because Rastafari is all about a conscious liberty and a positive liberty. And whatsoever I and I do and say about I and I brothers and sisters, it must be positive. It cannot be negative. For if it's negative, the repercussion and the effect and after it and the reaction going to be negative. For negative attract negative, while joy attract joy. And love begot love and bring counsel. That's why I are here now as a bloodline of the ancient. To bring counsel to the people who shout at the glory. And the glory is the way how man should live in life amongst man. For war and fight and have bad vibes and all these things against one another and live in a corruption. As leaders and as people who setting example for other people follow, we're supposed to live a clean life. And that is what I and I are here reasoning of. A lot of people spread rumor upon Haile Selassie and spread propaganda. And Fidel Castro was one of the main instruments in that. But I and I know all these things come to naught because the works and the words of Haile Selassie first stand today. And many people today, they read the teachings of His Imperial Majesty than the teaching of the Bible. So I and I Nah, turn forward pan I and I word, or what the ancients say. Give us the teachings of His Imperial Majesty. For I and I no want no devil philosophy through the power of the King of Kings. So we give thanks, badass. We love the eye. You know, we hear them reason there where the eye have, and the eye have some knowledge there for I and I as youth too. Where these are some of the knowledge them where I and I shorter because we are the third generation now. And when we rise up in a Rasta, we see the second generation like it's just house and car, them interested in. And some of them run Ghana foreign. And the youth them have to hold the order. Till now it reach a stage where you have some little fraud now we come around the place and them want take over because the youth them have to still a hunt. The youth them have to look for survive because not left for the youth them, you know. More than you have to do something or if you not get mad, you got a prison. And that we face. But through the power of the King of Kings and the teachings and the words of His Imperial Majesty, I and I, the out of grass, and I try to make it, be independent. That I and I can live to tell the word, you know. For great was the companies who published this word, you know. So I and I have to give thanks. I know the eye is a great warrior. You know the eye, they're thousands of miles away over land and seas. But I and I listen to the eye, the words. You know, I and I now go sip everything that the eye dish out. You know, but when it come on to Haile Selassie, I and I don't feel pleased when I and I hear ones and ones continue the propaganda and Haile Selassie after some 40 odd year now since the emperor put flesh. You know, from 1992 was 17 years. So you can do the maths from 1992, which His Majesty was 100 year old till now. You know, so now His Majesty is a ancient of days. So I and I encourage you one them Rasta. Speak good of the king. You know, we have to love the king. You understand? And that with Africa over the years, we follow Europe and fight against the king. And we fight against the elder them, and we fight against the patriarch and the matriarch. And we fight against the ancestor eventually. So we must be wise. We must be careful in what we say, you know, because people love the idea, you know, reasoning, you know. But when people hear certain words I come against the ancestor now, you know, that not so nice, you know. For if we born in a slavery, you know, we born with come here some kind of inculcation for Babylon make for your grandparents like Lord Jesus Christ and all them things there. So if you rise up and say John Marcus I Haile Selassie I don't have no problem with it because I and I ancestor. But when it come on to the Naya Bingi, you know, Haile Selassie is the highest. We not go say Marcus Garvey and the king is the same, you know. Or Marcus Garvey and the king and Emmanuel is the same. It's three different persons. So these are some of the things we need logical reasoning and explanation for. All of the ones them great. Emmanuel great, Marcus great, the Emperor great, and you have many, many more great ones. Among Sayanai, Martimo Planner, the great Kumi, where enough people don't know and hear of, you know, and some people they haven't seen book them yet, you know. And many great ones, where Bongo Time, Bongo Pato, Bongo Thomas, Bongo Rocky, you understand? All these ancient, Bongo Blackheart, these ancient, they're the Solomon Wolf, you know, where have words and have story to tell. And some people may say these men no live good and them do this in them days and them do that in them days. But I know the youth no business about these things where them did do from where them did do, never do, where did bad. I and I young go business where the good word where them left I and I learn from. And that ones and ones we overstand in this time, you know. I and I we reason of people in I and I age group who still alive, who some of them they are Jamaica now and call themselves Iraqi and them now touch base with the youth them like how even badass now as an official man on the internet and him have a lot of people know him and him take time out now to come amongst the council of the ancient bloodline and express himself, you know. And nobody never did a call up in name saying did this and him that no way and then put him on the group. Him there on the group and him do something and somebody say something and then him express himself. And we still living in love. Right? And enough bingy man who say them and I bingy cannot live this way. You know, I mean no want to call on name and call the time we are call name and call name. But ones and ones permanent one on this platform know the hierarchy them at Jamaica where a cause confusion amongst Rasta people and run out the Nyabingi children out of Nyabingi and tell out the ancient them legacy, rob out the ancient them legacy and sit down and collect royalty off of the ancient them from all different sides and them and them picnic them fat till them can't walk. And I are here and we say certain things to draw them out more than once and then go in their shell and lap them tail and hide. So respect badass, you know, respect. Cause the eye, we see the eye as a elder. And the mind never mind the eye now have long hair or locks by your head. But we know the eye have rasta in your heart. You know, and we know the eye trod with that ancient power where the eye learn from the ancient cause we just listen to the eye reasoning. But you know, I know we no man no perfect. And man does make them think, but the eye doing good. So keep the link and keep the vibes going. You know, this is Bongo Time, son. I speak to the eye Rastani. We're now located in Barbados and we are keep the fire burning said we through the power of Kadamawi. So let these few words of fire in my mouth and the meditation of fire in my heart be humble, accept them in thy sight, and thy strength, and thy redeemer. Imperial Majesty Elias Selassie the first Ancient King of creation, the one triumphant and triune, most wise and visible, the protectorate of all human faith, and the ruler of the universe. And I salute the high, great and thunderable name. Highly I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. Bless, keep, sanctify and I, cause the eye of thine eye to shine upon and I over land and seas. So shall I and I be saved and redeemed from the hands of the dragon. And these things and I ask of the eye, Rastafari.
Give thanks, beloved Rasta time son. I and I is one. I feel the item vibration, and I am not here to disrespect the Nyabingi Asian Council. I am Nyabingi. The difference of views or opinion that I am expressing is because of how I did rise up in this trad. I am not sure if the ones are familiar with who I am in terms of being a Rasta baby. I have expressed myself to the fullness and tried to represent this trad to the fullness. First, I never come up under no doctrine. Kumi is I old man biological father, even though Kumi is I father, Kumi never tried I. Bongo Water never tried I. Salaman Wolf, Center Fox, Sam Brown, as I have explained to the world, I never meet Bedwood, Percival Howell, Henry, outside of those elders. I have been to Go Nation with every other elder. Remember, I am a Rasta baby, liberation baby. Now, God must keep in mind that I already explained that the Bible is three places in the Bible I and I did actually hold fast to. Leviticus 10, Psalm 68, Revelation 5:5. After that, I and I use the Bible to light I and I chalice. I explain to the eyes then that the Rastafari that I come up in was one. When I and I went to the airport to meet the king, we went as one. There was no separation then. The all road lead call was from bottom 9th Street, Bongo Water Yard. That's where we didn't just run to the airport. I explained that we had a 7-day ISIS ground nation at bottom 9th Street in Trenchtown. At the time, there was no 13 tribe. There was no separation. There was no bubble. There was just one bingy order. When we went to the airport to meet the king, was one Rastafari. I have lived to see ones and ones after the king came. We have heard different rumors and verify that the king tell ones to go centralize and organize. These are things that I don't hold forward to because I know when it was one Rasta. I point out to the high them that I was at Ebenezer Church when the king sent the church come. I was there. It was my generation that reject the church because we already had burned out Christianity. The problem that I have with Rastafari, I'm expressing myself freely because this is what my generation issue was. We already dashed with Christianity. So how the king could have come forward, come give us Christianity? We already through with that. No. So when I embrace no Christianity, after 68, Rasta went on a church building kind of vibes. So we have all kind of church come out of Rastafari since 1968. But what I want the item in South Africa to understand, whether you're a night Wovite or whatever, I wanted to understand that High Fire Bunny went to South Africa before it free and participate and vote. I am a South African citizen. At the first election, there was a Rastafari party. Do your homework. That Rastafari party, I vote for that Rastafari head at the time. It was I that South African Rasta sent out. Because remember I told you, I threw away my passport and was in South Africa, living as a South African, done with the West. I was sent by a delegation of South African Rasta to go and bring my old man Kumi to South Africa. That's the reason why I came out of South Africa. When I reached Jamaica, the government in Jamaica already hijacked the old man and have him up at UWI, University of the West Indies, in the faculty as the head of the folks law department. When I consult with Muta and others, they had sanction against that. These are things that I know. What the item again must recall, it was I who sent in Bongo Water, Bongo Time, that team of Rastaman that went in there. They went in South Africa through RUZ, Rastafari Universal Zion. It was high works again to send them in South Africa. Now, what Bongo Water and Bongo Time did is to come into South Africa and Christian down the brethren them again. I can't be a part of a Christian movement. I can't be a part of that. Yet I am not renouncing Rastafari. All I am trying to show the brethren them that we need to find forward with blackness in order to rise up now in this time. I personally, the brethren make mention, I have no locks. I am ashamed to go locks. I am ashamed. I, Jahbunny, is ashamed to be identified with what I am seeing today, professing to be Rastafari. It seems that Rastafari have a self-hate amongst itself, that this one love concept have turned the movement upside down, where it's like Rasta want to embrace everything and everyone and rejecting itself, rejecting its blackness. Here in England, when I first come to England, there was around 40 functioning Rasta group, each competing with each other. Today you look around, you see a lot of people with locks, but there is no organization here in London. Yeah. So my stand today is not to separate myself or anything, but I can't stand with anything that nah stand black or black. I am from the black days. I am from the black heart man days. And so be it. It was I who say death before dishonor. It was I and I who built this movement. I didn't build it. I and I built it. It's I and I built it. So I position today as a fundamentalist. I can't make no one come tell I know, I seen at years now how this should go. I never come up and worship no woman. I never come up and worship no woman. And I never at no time at all did see I as God Almighty. I did see I as the Godhead. And he is the Godhead. That's how it stands for I. So I not take on no mysticism, and I not take on no rewrite no Bible and reverse and redub. This thing is how I did grew up in it. It was a forward to Africa liberation struggle. But today, when I listen to the ones them, because I am here listening and watching the comment, and ones and ones that come out of them feelings and come out of them feelings. I never said nothing to offend no one. This is how I did grow as a Rasta youth. I free to express I self. This is how I live through the struggle. You know how much I man brethren them drop and can't move through this liver? I and I is free to express I and I. Because I only can express from I livity, the works that I put in. And today I am looking at all that I have done for this live. First of all, there's a program that I put out where Rasta, after I fall captive and took Babylon to them own court and win it, all these Rasta elders, Sam Brown and all of them, when we call for them to come stand up with I as young vanguard, when I get captured, Babylon never know who Rasta was. Babylon, I come from when Babylon call I cult. Cult. When Babylon capture I them think as some cult, them capture. And when we establish that we is entitled to fair and just treatment and send for Sam Brown, Bongo Time, Bongo Water, name them. They all come and sell out I with the Smithsonian and establish themselves with Babylon. So today I have to be very mindful and careful how I becomes a part of anything. I have gone through too much sellout. So this thing is personal to high, the vanguard. This is not a talk thing and a Bible thing that I just sit down. I put in blood and tears for this. I burden put in blood and tears for this. This is not just sit down and talk and quote the Bible Psalms and. So I just want my brethren and my sister in them, respect. And I go give them the respect. And the item now to see what I am seeing because the item never live what I have lived. Right? And the things that I am expressing now, these are things that I was thinking about 45 years ago in the dungeon when I was forced now to go and study. Most Rastaman, when you talk to them, I already telling them, most Rastaman, when you talk to them, and when them friend tell them, when them a smoke, them talk about and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it till it becomes a reality and a fact. No, I have done independent homework on the things them that I am speaking about. It might be strange to the young, as I said, the third and fourth generation and fifth generation. It might be strange to them. But when it comes to the first and second generation, check the comments. A lot of people is in sync, but was afraid to express how they really feel. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just expressing myself and telling you my life journey. I am not doing this for likes or dislike, and so be it. So make it be one black love. And as I said, I'm not here trying to offend my brother and my sister. It's just my liberty, my life journey, and my experience I'm trying to share. Three-quarter of the ones and before I, Vanguard, they pass on without even expressing themselves. Gone are the days. We are in a different era now where we can express ourselves the way I'm doing it. And that's what I'm doing. The item might see what I'm saying 5 or 15 or 10, 20 years from now. You might realize, oh, that's what Jahbunny was trying to say. So make it me one perfect love, my virgin and sister. No disrespect personal, and there was no intent. Because all I have to do if I feel a way is just take myself out of it. But I'm not going to do that because, it's Rasta and Rasta. So we give thanks for keep in it. Juna Mervin and the administrator. And I will try not to disrespect anyone personally. And if any disrespect is feel that it's not intended. Perfect love, virgin and sister.
Yes, that was I expressing myself forward to the Nyabingi Asian Council. Now, I speak on African Liberation Day and telling the nation again that there is nothing to celebrate. Now, one of I man I tell you, them say, I'm not even going to Africa right now because I have so many soldiers in Africa. So I go make I'm an young lion, Rasai Selassie, I tell you, he's finding right now and he's there in Africa right now. So here we go.
Than Christian. Hail Jahbunny. Give thanks for life and health and strength and daily substances. Continue to speak your truth, because some of them a cage lion and some of we a field lion. Yeah. And in this time, we can't really beg no friend, because nothing in a Babylon now run right. Nothing at all. A lot of people live in an illusion, some of them worse than Christian. You see me, I say, the Rastafari movement is nowhere still from the dream time to this time. Still an illusion. Because nowhere in Africa is liberated. Rasta still there at the bottom of all social society. Nowhere in Africa where black people and a all is welcome. Even in Africa, as Africans, they are still tribal and nation a fight against nation. Nowhere here is liberated. Even for I and I in the West, there's Jamaicans a chant for Africa. When they come to Africa, if you don't have no money, you know one is friend. The money is them God. No money, no one cares about you. All them see is dollars and pound signs. Them don't see a color first. Them don't see the struggles you already struggling in the West, third hemisphere, to return back home to your ancestral borders. So after so many years of chanting freedom and redemption, it's like it's a rewinding song. You fast, you play it to the end and then you rewind and come again. Yeah. So the liberation is not here yet. It's nowhere near. Nowhere in Africa you can come from the West and be accepted as an African. You have immigration problem in a Babylon, Western Hemisphere, and you come to Africa. No difference. There's nowhere on the continent you can go home and be welcome as a returning slave that was brought to the West with nothing. Nowhere. So we're not liberated. The OAU is a waste of time. Worse, them change the name. Them change enough for the objective because the OAU not working for African. It has been infiltrated by the Western government. Because all of the great leader them who was trying to manifest the vision of His Imperial Majesty, them kill them off. Kill them dead. You name them. Who not kill them put them in a prison. From the Gaddafi them to the Mandela to the Amin to the Kwame Nkrumah to the you can name them. Them get rid of them. anyone who tried to achieve a United States of Africa, a one African currency, them get rid of them. So with security not tight. Because all of them man there, when them get rid of them one people in them one country celebrate them death, celebrate them imprisonment. We see how them go on when Gaddafi, them kill Gaddafi, or Libya people, them jump up and like say, the best thing ever happened to Leon. From them get rid of Gaddafi, the whole of East Africa in a destabilization. Because this, in a Libya is the only country you could have go. And for your married, they get housing. Libya was like a first world country. They get benefit there. They get land and car if you know say you're married. And set up business. And them still celebrate the death of Gaddafi. Same thing them do with Kwame Nkrumah. See me? Them call Mugabe terrorists after them get so much honors in England and all over the world. Them is a terror. When the next government come in, the people in Zimbabwe celebrate the opposition and glad them get rid of Mugabe. You see me, I say, Marcus Garvey, Jamaican first deportee and first national hero, die a papa after all these years of struggling for black people. So I have to be careful talking about this liberation. Shaka Zulu sell out him one tribe after all this war. This so-called Maroons sell out them people. Them hang Sam Shaft in a Montego Bay Square. And the people them celebrate, and these man was called freedom fighters. All the freedom fighters of Kenya, them use them own a black man and get in a power. Kenyatta was a freedom fighter, but Kenyatta was a traitor. He infiltrate the freedom fighter movement and sell out some of them and make some of them get captured because he knew where the secret places was. So we have to be careful. See Malcolm X. When I'm one, take him out, Jed. So a man can get up every day and talk about him and fight for this and fight for that, and some people them crucify after that. And that's what them do to Christ. Walk with 12 man and all of them sell him out and push this man philosophy. So we have to be careful and follow this romanticizing about liberation and all these things. And then they end up dead. What do you hear a sad news up to all that this man been traveling in Ethiopia for how many years, traveling into Ethiopia, doing so much things for Rastafari, putting Ethiopia church and the Orthodox church on the map. And now what do you him want left Ethiopia through say them claim him overstay. You know what I mean? And them want £3,500 before him can left Ethiopia. And the man sick. The man end up dead in Ethiopia, Jed. I know him son there in Africa stuck as well. Need money to come back out. If you overstay, you have to pay a bag of money for left. You have to pay a bag of money for go. And you have to still pay a bag of money for live in Africa. So if you don't have money in the bag of Africa, you go dead. If you don't have money, don't go to Africa. You better stay at Jamaica anywhere there and live. Me, Rasai Selassie, I tell anybody in the world this. If you don't have no money, don't come to Africa. You go dead. And that is the reality of liberation. Because there is no liberation. You know what I mean? It's only a word. You have to liberate the mind first, the mental capacity first before we think about all these illusions and fairy tales. And know yourself, and know your stand for, and know your destination. Get up and fight this world of war, and start this world of struggle, and end up dead a papa. And now you only have memory. All of the fallen soldier them fight for the struggle. What are today, 2022, where them dead for and fight for? You see it manifest yet? That is my question. You see all of these things manifested yet? Jahbunny, big up yourself. Keep it real.
Give thanks, Rasai. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. Keep it real to the real. Now, out of the blue moon, someone said I this. And hear what this little young African brethren have to say. This youth could have been my grandson. Listen to what I have to say now. That's the new faculty of thinking we are put forward, you know. And the new faculty of thinking not only go for Jamaica, it's a global black new faculty of thinking. So here we go again.
I never pray for any Africans to become a slave to white peoples again. How many people do white people kill in the hospital here? We the migrants. Let me take an example from myself. I am a migrant who came through boats, through Libya to come to Europe. But how many of my fellow migrants they kill? Do you think all the boats that have accident in this Libyan sea, do you think is by God? White people are killing them in the sea. They kill many peoples because they said we are too much in Europe. And when they are killing Mohammed Gaddafi, they didn't know that migration will start. When they kill Mohammed Gaddafi, the road will open for Africa to enter to Europe. They didn't know. When they are killing Mohammed Gaddafi, they think like they are killing Mohammed Gaddafi and everything will be good, nothing will be bad. No. You kill Mohammed Gaddafi, you people kill Mohammed Gaddafi, and the border is open for us to come to you peoples. Whatever you steal from Africa, we will steal it back and take it back to Africa. Always know that. I will not be afraid to say this. Whatever you have, you people have stolen from Africa, we have come for it, and we will take it by force. By force. Either you like it, you don't like it, we will take it. If you like, let us work for you people like slave. But whatever you steal from Africa, we will take it back. We will. Racism. Black peoples in Europe are facing racism. 100% of racism. And they said, Europe there is human rights. I don't want to hear this word that Europe there is human right. Human right is standing for white peoples in Europe, not we the black. If you are a black man in Europe or in America or in UK, don't think human right is standing for you. You are a black man. There's no human right for you in white man country. Human right is for only white peoples. Because white people think that we the black people, we are foolish. We are illiterate. White man like Boris Johnson, UK Prime Minister, they will be racist forever. And even their children will be racist forever. Because they teach their children how to be racist. They tell their children the stories, lies. They teach their children in the school lie story about we the Africans. They make their children to be afraid of us, not to talk to us. They tell their children that we are criminals. We are full of sickness. We came through this way. We came from Africa with sickness. We are not good. We are not clean. We are not clean, but you steal from us. We are not clean, but they are still surviving by us. We are not clean. We are sick. We are criminals. But if we don't work for you, you and your family cannot eat. You said we are not clean. We are sick. That's what you tell your children. Fuck. When you go to supermarket, if you see any tomato there, black people walk it. And you said you are racist, don't eat tomato because black people touch it with their hand and black people are the one cultivating that tomato. If you go to supermarket, if you see salad or any vegetables things, black people are the one cultivating it in Europe here. So if you are racist, you don't like black, don't touch it. Don't eat vegetables in Europe. Because every vegetable in Europe here is cultivated by black man. By we the black immigrants. But you are racist, you say you don't like black people. You say black people are sick. What the hell do you think you are doing? But you are still going to supermarket to buy tomato, to buy potatoes, to buy salad, to buy other vegetables. Who work it? Who cultivate it? European youths are working on the street, faking themselves that they are going to school. They are not learning. They are not working. We are working for them. Let me tell you this, my fellow Africans. We, the black immigrants living in Europe, we are working for these Europeans and their children's future. We are working for them. When you work normally, how many hours do you work in a day? Do you know how much they should pay you? If you work 8 hours in a day, almost, you're supposed to have like 150 euro a day. But how much are they paying you? 35 euro, 30 euro. And you work 8 hours. So where the rest of your payment is going? To their government, to prepare a good future for their children. That's why their children are becoming useless. They are not even going to school. They didn't even don't want to learn because they are having money. We are working for them. So we are slaves. We are slaves. Do we want our children to come and become slaves again? I will never bring my children to Europe. Even if I have a child in Europe, I will take him back to Africa. My child will never be in Europe. I will not be a slave to these dummy peoples, and my children will become and be a slave to these dummy peoples. Why? And if UK Prime Minister is coming out and telling people that he want to take people to Rwanda, I don't blame him because he is racist and his children are racist, his family is racist, and they will never stop this racism because it's in their blood. I don't blame them. I blame African leaders who should support their peoples, who should abandon this standing with white peoples. Why? Why are you abandoning your own people, African leaders? Why are you abandoning African peoples and standing with white peoples? You have become dictator to your peoples, become criminal to your peoples, stealing your people's budget. But you become slave and call to Europeans. When you see them, you bend down for them and greet them. Why are you bending down for them? They are surviving by you. Stand strong. Let them bend down for you and greet you. White people should bend down. White prime ministers, European prime ministers, UK prime minister, American president, China president should bow down for African leaders because they are all surviving by Africa. But why African leaders, they are still bowed down for all these leaders? While these leaders are the ones who bow down for African leaders. But because of their stupidity, these leaders are standing and they will come and bow.
Yes, massive. That was a African son expressing himself. So I'm gonna cut it here now and let you all cipher out the three reasons, the four reasons that was put forward to the massive. Until such time, black love.
I hope everybody's all right. I hope you're eating well. June is right around the corner. I'll be giving away a lot of copies of these. The easiest way to become a vegan. So the more orders I get, the better. Go to www.veganintel.com, place your order. We're building up a nice amount of funds to place an order and give away quite a few for the month of June. So that'll be nice. I'm trying to figure out how I can video it. I don't want to set up my phone outside. Somebody might snatch it and run. So I think I got to get somebody to go with me to video. So I got to figure that part out. How's everybody doing though? I want to video myself giving out manuals. I'm going to have to probably have somebody go with me. What's going on, Reverend Tim, Lady Linus, Young World, Craig, Larry, what's going on? Hope everybody's doing all right. So make sure you eat right, take care of yourself, order the easiest way to become a vegan. Let's stop eating that meat. Let's stop eating that meat. And what up, Mufasa Rock? Good to see you. What's up, Power? I think it's Power K Music. I'm not understanding how to pronounce it. I know it's Power, maybe Cosmic. Is that what that stands for? So yeah.